Listen up, because what I'm about to show you could be hiding in your pocket, in your drawer, even in the change you spend every single day. These aren't just pennies. These are silent fortunes, hidden treasures, life-changing wealth that collectors are fighting tooth and nail for. One wrong spend, and you have literally handed over serious money without even realizing it. Each coin we are about to reveal is rarer, crazier, and more shocking than the last. What comes next will blow your mind, and it might be sitting right under your nose. Stay with me till the very end, because missing even one of these could cost you a fortune. These are not ordinary coins. They are quiet wealth waiting to explode in value, and if you are not careful, you could lose the chance of a lifetime. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that most people would laugh at, toss in a jar, or spend without a second thought. But what if I told you this very coin could quietly be worth over $150,000 right now? That's exactly what we're talking about with the 1955 Wheat Penny S Mintmark, showing those rare gray spots. From the moment it left the San Francisco Mint in 1955, it was destined to be different. This was a turbulent time in America, post-war optimism clashing with economic uncertainty, a nation rebuilding, and the mint scrambling to meet demand while still experimenting with striking techniques. Coins from this year often ended up with odd toning, unusual metal blends, and errors. Exactly the kind of conditions that make a coin survive as a rare collector's gem. Now, here's the catch. So many of these pennies were lost, melted, or simply spent over the decades. Only a tiny fraction survived in fine condition, with the S Mintmark clearly visible and those gray spotting patterns intact. That tiny, almost imperceptible gray shading is what separates an everyday penny from a silent fortune. Collectors crave it because it tells a story of survival, of history pressed into copper, of a coin that could have been gone forever if someone had merely spent it as pocket change. Every detail matters. The edges, the way the wheat stalks catch the light, the tiniest imperfections, these are not flaws. They are signatures of authenticity. Never, ever clean this coin. Original toning matters. Professional grading can turn this quiet penny into a screaming auction sensation. Imagine someone holding this coin in a safe, knowing they could sell it tomorrow for $152,000 while the rest of us are flipping through our wallets thinking we're rich in pocket change. And it gets scarier. Most people who stumble on these pennies have no clue what they're holding. One wrong spend, one careless wash, and the hidden treasure is gone forever. If you ever see a 1955 S Wheat Penny, check for those gray spots, check the strike quality, and check for mint mark clarity. That detail changes everything. Patience is golden. Do not spend this coin. It's a quiet fortune waiting for the right collector who knows its worth. Stay alert, because what comes next is even rarer. And this isn't fiction. There are only a handful of these coins in fine condition surviving in the entire world. Dealers fight over them. Collectors hoard them. Demand is skyrocketing. And the next coin, it is going to make this one look almost common. But for now, treasure this penny because it is one of the most dangerous, life-changing coins you could accidentally spend in your pocket. Listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal could be hiding in your loose change right now, and most people wouldn't even give it a second glance. This is the 1938 Wheat Penny, and here's the kicker. It has no mint mark at all. That alone makes it one of the most dangerous coins to ignore, because it is a silent fortune, quietly sitting in circulation while the world spends it like ordinary change. Look at it closely. That brown layer, even in dirty condition, tells a story of survival against impossible odds. This penny has been through decades of handling, from sweaty pockets to cash registers, yet it survived. That survival? Shockingly rare. 1938 was no ordinary year. America was still recovering from the Great Depression, the economy was shaky, and the country was preparing for the storms on the horizon. Mint production was focused, but errors and anomalies slipped through the cracks. One of those being this No Mintmark rarity. Most pennies from that year got lost, melted, or worn beyond recognition. But this one survived like a hidden treasure, whispering its quiet wealth to anyone smart enough to recognize it. The dirty condition actually adds character. It proves the coin is authentic, untouched, and alive with history. The brown toning is natural, and it is that original look that collectors are desperate for. Do not, under any circumstances, try to clean it. That layer, it is part of the coin's life story, its very soul. Professional grading is key. Even this dirty survivor can be transformed into a collector's holy grail once certified. Look for the subtle details, the wheat stalks, the tiny edge rim, the smoothness of the strike, the absence of a mint mark. All details that scream rarity to the trained eye. Now imagine holding this coin, knowing it could fetch $121,000 today. That's not fantasy. That's serious money. Life-changing wealth hiding in plain sight while everyone else walks by, tossing it into a jar, or worse, spending it at a vending machine. Collectors fight tooth and nail for these. Auction houses see bidding wars. People hoard these pennies because they know the next decade will only make them rarer. The detail to watch? The mint mark absence, it's a quiet signal of immense value. And here's your warning again. Do not spend this coin. Patience is everything. Never clean. Let it age naturally. Every tiny scratch, every brown spot, every bit of grime adds to the story and the value. The moment you disturb that, you destroy a fortune. Stay alert, because what comes next, what I am about to show you after this, it is bigger, it is rarer, and it is even more shocking than this 1938 survivor. And if you thought this penny was incredible, wait until you see what is hiding in the shadows next. A coin sitting quietly in a drawer, in a pocket, maybe even under a couch cushion, that could quietly be worth over $130,000 right now. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this isn't fiction. This is the 1918 Wheat Penny, without a mint mark, and with a haunting black shade that instantly tells collectors, this coin survived a century of history, untouched and alive with hidden wealth. From the moment it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, yes, the absence of a mint mark means it came from Philly, it carried a silent fortune that most people would never notice, let alone understand. 1918 was a year the world would never forget. The Great War was ending, soldiers returning home, the economy teetering between boom and uncertainty, and yet the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies that would become treasures a century later. Conditions at the Mint were far from perfect. Metal shortages, rushed strikes, and limited quality control meant that coins with unusual shades, like this deep black toning, were extremely rare. Most pennies from that year were lost, worn beyond recognition, or melted down. But this one survived in fine condition. A true miracle. The black shading isn't just a color. It's proof of survival, proof of age, proof of being a hidden treasure that quietly grew in value while sitting in circulation. Every collector looks for that shade, that depth of tone, the integrity of the wheat stalks, and the subtle edges that show it was struck properly. Even minor scratches or cleaning attempts destroy value instantly. That's why the condition is critical. Fine or better is exceptionally rare for a coin over 100 years old. Collectors obsess over these details. The missing mint mark, the black shading, the clarity of the strike all combine to create serious money that could change someone's life overnight. And in today's market, this survivor quietly commands $132,000, a life-changing fortune for anyone who recognizes it before it disappears into a collector's vault. Auction houses see bidding wars for pennies like this. Dealers hoard them. Everyone knows they won't last long. Warning, do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Original toning is everything. Professional grading can unlock its full potential, transforming a dusty drawer find into a screaming auction sensation. Look for the subtle wheat details, the smooth rim, the contrast in shading. Patience is golden. One careless move and the fortune vanishes. And just when you think you've seen rare, get ready because what comes next is even more shocking, rarer, and even more dangerous to ignore. This 1918 black-shaded survivor is mind-blowing, but the next coin, it's the kind of treasure that makes collectors sweat, fight, and hoard in absolute secrecy. Stay tuned, because missing it could literally cost you hundreds of thousands. Penny sitting quietly in your change, or maybe in a dusty old coin jar that could be hiding $112,000 worth of silent fortune just waiting for the right eyes to spot it. This is the 1928 Wheat Penny with a D mint mark surviving in very fine condition, a coin that has quietly defied time, and it's one of the rarest treasures from the Denver Mint you could ever hope to hold. From the moment it was struck in 1928, the country was a whirlwind of change. The Roaring '20s were ending, Wall Street was booming but on the edge of collapse, and the Mint was producing pennies under intense pressure. Only a tiny number of these coins were struck, and even fewer survived the next century in collectible condition. The D mint mark isn't just a mark, it's a secret signature of rarity. Collectors hunt for it obsessively because it tells them exactly where the coin was born and why so few exist. The very fine condition of this penny is miraculous. Most 1928 D wheat pennies were spent, lost, or worn into oblivion. Holding one today is like holding a piece of history, a quiet fortune in your hand pressed into copper, carrying decades of untold stories. Look closely at the details, the sharpness of the wheat stalks, the subtle edges, the way the D mint mark sits perfectly above the date. Every tiny imperfection, every nuance, is a sign of authenticity. Clean it and you destroy its soul. Never, ever clean this coin. Let the original toning speak for itself. Professional grading can reveal the hidden wealth this penny carries, transforming what looks like ordinary change into a life-changing treasure. Collectors are desperate for coins like this. Auction houses see them fly for serious money. Dealers hoard them, knowing that every passing year makes surviving examples rarer and more valuable. The detail to obsess over? The crispness of the date, the clarity of the D mint mark, and the quality of the strike. Miss it, and you could literally hand over a fortune for a measly penny. And here's the warning again. Do not spend this coin. Patience is golden. Original condition is everything. Every scratch, every polished attempt, every overlooked detail can destroy its value. This is quiet wealth hiding in plain sight, a life-changing opportunity for anyone paying attention. But if you think this penny is incredible, just wait, because what comes next is bigger, rarer, and even more shocking. The final coin in our countdown is the kind of hidden treasure that could make all the previous pennies look almost ordinary. Stay tuned, because this next one could literally be the find of a lifetime. Hold on to your seat because this is no ordinary penny. This is the 1941 wheat penny without a mint mark, covered in deep black spots, surviving in old condition. A coin that has quietly outlasted decades, wars, and generations of careless spenders, hiding a fortune of $112,000 in plain sight. Just imagine this coin could be sitting in your wallet, your jar, even under the couch cushions, and most people would spend it without a second thought. But this survivor carries history in every groove and toning in every blackened shadow. This is life-changing wealth you cannot afford to miss. 1941 was a turning point for America. The nation was on the brink of entering World War II. The economy was shifting from depression recovery to wartime production, and the mint was under intense pressure. Pennies from this era were rushed, error-prone, and often lost in circulation. Most never survived. But this one did. Its black spotting tells a story of survival against all odds, a silent fortune that collectors are hunting for relentlessly. Look carefully at the coin, the wheat stalks, the subtle rim, the uneven black toning. Each tiny detail adds to its rarity and value. Never clean it. Original toning is sacred. Every scratch, every polish attempt destroys what could be a life-changing piece of wealth. Professional grading is key. It can transform this old survivor into a screaming auction sensation that collectors fight over. Collectors are obsessed with coins like this. Demand is skyrocketing and supply is vanishing. Auction houses have seen bidding wars break out over pennies that most people would throw in a jar. Patience is everything. The tiniest overlooked detail can make a fortune disappear in seconds. And now, as we wrap up, here's the warning you must take seriously. Do not spend these coins. Every penny in this countdown is a hidden treasure, a life-changing opportunity, a quiet fortune hiding in plain sight. Each one is rarer, more valuable, and more shocking than the last, and missing them could cost you a fortune you'll never get back. So dig through those jars, check every drawer, every old tin, every corner where change hides. The past has left you clues, and the future rewards the vigilant. This isn't fiction. This isn't a story, it's real-life changing wealth, waiting to be discovered. Remember, these pennies are more than metal. They are history, they are fortune, and they are proof that the tiniest things can hide the biggest treasures. And who knows, the next hidden coin you find might just be your ticket to serious money. Stay alert, stay patient, and keep your eyes open. Your quiet fortune is out there, and it is waiting.